the bat talk, tune out the haters. It is a sign he gave the world time and again to remind them that it is his bat that walks the talk on his behalf. Not the critics, not the naysayers or the media. Just the bat and the runs that will flow from the willow. He wasn't born to back down. Virat Kohli's career has been one long conversation between the doubters and his bat has always spoken louder. The fire in his eyes, the clenched fists, the passion which sometimes spilled over was close to the bone, but all of it was rooted in a relentless hunger to win. Aggression was part of his armor, a grist to the mill he fed off. It fueled the fire, sharpened the edge, and made the silence after every answer from the bat even louder.
In hindsight, I saw it as hunger, because why I'm saying, because sometimes I used to feel that I think he's overdoing it, that aggression on the ground, I think which was not needed all the time, but possibly it was his style of motivating himself, and that's what he did against Australia or against England, against the best team in the world.
He wanted to always fight in the middle, because once you come out of the park, I think he was a very nice guy, but on the park he always wanted to fight and wanted to be the best, and I think that aggression he always had, and that carried even when he played for the national team. And I feel that he saw that with aggression he can do much better.
देखिए बहुत पुरानी बात है, 25 साल पहले वो मेरे पास आया था, तब वो 10 साल का भी नहीं था। वो एकेडमी में आया था तो एक बहुत छोटा बच्चा था, लेकिन हाँ तब भी वो एक बहुत शरारती बच्चा था, बहुत चुलबुला बच्चा था, और अग्रेसिव तो शुरू से था ही।
अग्रेसिव यही था कि जब रनिंग भी करता था, जैसे लगता था नॉर्मल बच्चा 1.5 रन लेगा, वो 1.5 के भी 2 बनाता था तब भी। एट दैट टाइम ऑल्सो हिज रनिंग बिटवीन द विकेट वॉज एक्सेप्शनल। और जब पार्टनरशिप हो रही थी, हर ओवर के बाद बैट्समैन के पास जाता था, उससे बात करता रहता, और फील्डिंग में जैसे उसके यहाँ से कोई रन ले जाए, एग्रेशन की आप बात कर रहे हो, रख के थ्रो मारता था कीपर की तरह, है कि उसको बताए बैट्समैन का भैया यहाँ से रन लेगा तो मतलब आई विल गेट यू, मतलब रन आउट होने का पूरा चांस बनेगा।
If 2014 was a test of character in Australia, with leadership reins handed to him, where he slammed 692 runs at a sterling average of 86.50, then 2018 was a crowning moment for the King in England. Kohli returned to English shores with demons to slay and did so emphatically, finishing as the highest run scorer of the series with 593 runs at an average of 59.30. That year he was unstoppable, ruling overseas conditions like no other Indian batter had done before him. Kohli also has the distinction of 7 Test double hundreds, most by any Indian. His career's best Test knock of 254 not out in 2019 came against South Africa in Pune.
Virat Kohli has been one of those few cricketers who have been so consistent in all the 3 formats. That's a sign of an international great player.
He has played some great innings against England, against Australia, against Pakistan. He was truly great.
I think the Australian tour in 2014, once he came back from England, he never had a good tour, but he went there and got 400s, and I think on difficult conditions. I think that was the best, and then he went to England, and again he got in 2018, I think.
But it was not just the bat. As captain, it was a redemption arc for Kohli, who led India to its most historic Test series win, the 2018-19 Border Gavaskar Trophy win in Australia, licking the wounds sustained as an inexperienced skipper in 2014. It was the first time India had ever conquered Australia in a Test series on their soil, and Kohli's aggressive, no-compromise leadership was right at the heart of it.
मैं था वहाँ पे फाइनल के लिए मलेशिया में, और जिस तरह इसने लीड किया था टीम को तो वो बहुत ही शानदार था, और वहीं पर साइन थे, दिख रहा था कि आने वाले समय में एक बहुत बड़ा स्टार बनेगा भारतीय टीम का, जो वो अपनी मेहनत और अपनी टैलेंट से बना भी।
No, very difficult to say now, that it was it was around 2006, 2007. That was too early that time. But we saw tremendous potential in him, and that's how we picked him.
Above all, he wanted India to be one of the top country, number one country. He never believed in anything second. He always wanted to strive to be number one. And that's the reason why he wanted to get the best fast bowlers into the team. He wanted the fitness level to be at the top class, because if you're fit, you can, do wonders.
With 40 victories in 68 tests, Kohli became India's most successful test captain ever with a win percentage of 58.82. His tenure was not just about numbers, but about the palpable impact of changing mindsets. He instilled a fitness-first culture, backed his fast bowlers like never before, and demanded intensity in every session, home or away. The man was meant to be a leader, although, as the old chestnut goes, one can see the makings of a prodigy in their cradle, as leading from the front was something he was born for. The stars aligned for the feisty teenager at the Under-19 World Cup in 2008, where he not only dominated as a batter, but also led from the front as captain, taking India to the title and showing glimpses of the leader and the legend he would morph into. But rewinding to the night of glory, 2011, the moment when dreams stood taller than legends. Virat Kohli, barely 3 years into his fledgling international career, carried the great Sachin Tendulkar on his shoulders, and in many ways carried his legacy forward. The moment was a harbinger of fortunes coming the way of the Indian team, with the passing of the torch taking place, and Kohli took up the mantle and bolted with runs. The gesture was not a mere tribute, but a symbolic indication. The young guard lifting the old, as the world stood witness to a paradigm shift in Indian cricket's changing landscape.
Definitely, he was the only one who could reach Sachin Tendulkar's milestone of 100 centuries. And the paradigm shifted from Sachin to Virat Kohli, and everybody was talking of Virat the next last 10 to 15 years. So he took the mantle of Sachin Tendulkar. He got 51 hundreds in one-day cricket and 30 in test matches, and ODI also won. So I think he was the one people always looked at him after Sachin Tendulkar.
I mean, there's no question about it because they were destined to, I think, play that role which was lived by Sachin. And he did it brilliantly over the years. I think every series, every tournament, and in all formats of the game, he was outstanding.
But before entering cricket's Colosseum, it all began in a small corner, narrow lanes and colonies of West Delhi, where a little boy wielded a bat bigger than his dreams. Under coach Rajkumar Sharma, young Kohli displayed a rare mix of technique and temper, wise beyond his years, making him stand out and cut above the rest. Others in the coaching circle, including his under-16 and under-19 coaches, echo similar memories. Even as a child, his determination stayed intact. He hated losing. The hunger was insatiable, and the coaches knew the boy is meant to go a long way.
इमेंसली टैलेंटेड था, गॉड गिफ्टेड था, तो आने वाले कुछ समय में जैसे ही वो आया तो अगले 5-6 महीने में ही दिख गया था कि वो और बच्चों से अलग है और बहुत ज्यादा पैशनेट है, बहुत गिफ्टेड है. तो one could make out कि yes, he'll make it big.
He had come for the trials for under 17 in I think 2003. He and Ishant Sharma both. तो वहीं भारत नगर में ट्रायल्स हो रहे थे, तो तभी से लग रहा था जैसे बैटिंग कर रहा था, तो शुरू से he was a very good driver of the ball.
But greatness is often born from grief. Kohli dealt a severe blow that far exceeded the physical agony caused by a cricket ball. He lost his father at just 18. A moment that could have broken anyone. But he chose to stiff the upper lip and played a Ranji match the next day, while he was beside himself with pain, scoring crucial runs. That wasn't just a cricketing decision, it was a statement of intent. That pain forged the steel we would later see as a bat in his hand in battle after battle on the battlefield known as the cricketing ground.
राजकुमार his coach, he decided, तो इसने उसको बोला कि नहीं विराट, कितना अच्छा समझाया ना उसको, तो इसने उसको बोला कि नहीं, तू डैड का पैशन था, डैड का ड्रीम है कि तू इंडिया के लिए खेले, तो तू कोई नहीं, तू बैटिंग करने जा, अच्छा होगा, एवरीथिंग विल। तो विराट हिस्ट्री, आई थिंक ही स्कोर 95 और उसको गलत आउट भी दिया अंपायर ने और पूरा मीडिया उसके घर।
बैटिंग कर रहा था ओवरनाइट रणजी ट्रॉफी मैच में और दिल्ली वाज स्ट्रगलिंग और उनके रात को उनके फादर एक्सपायर हुए, लेकिन क्योंकि टीम को जरूरत थी तो उसने वो कैरेक्टर दिखाया और वो लव दिखाया गेम के लिए कि वो सुबह बैटिंग करने गया एंड ही गॉट सम 90 ऑड रन्स, तो दैट शोड हिज कैरेक्टर और उसका पैशन, उसका प्यार दिखाया क्रिकेट के लिए कितना ज्यादा है।
His rise to the top wasn't as seamless as he made scoring runs look. When he was picked for India in 2008, many questioned the move, but the then chairman of the National Selection Committee, Dilip Vengsarkar, backed him to the hilt and saw from the prism of what many missed. A generational player who would make the Indian jersey his second skin.
I'm extremely happy that I could give him an opportunity. I saw him first in under 16 tournament and later on, of course, in the Emerging Players tournament, and over the years he's been outstanding. I think for the young cricketers from my academy, I always tell them that he should be a role model because he's so disciplined, he's so fit, and he's so motivated all the time. I think in the overall career, in all formats of the game, is huge. Is absolutely fantastic.
He scored only 12 in his debut against Sri Lanka when he started to rub shoulders with men as a teenager. Hardly a headlining moment. But more than a debut, it was a planting of the seed moment, which grew in the stature of only a few have scaled. Beyond the ground, Kohli became a brand. Endorsements, fashion, social media. He wasn't just a cricketer, he was a symbol of modern India. Bold, unapologetic and elite. But fame never overshadowed the player. At his core, Kohli remained the boy who just wanted to bat. Not to mention, he's the third most followed sporting icon globally on Instagram with 272 million followers, only behind Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. His retirement post alone has garnered more than 17 million likes, nearly 4 million shares and 1.3 million comments and counting. The 36-year-old is not just the face of cricket, but also the go-to ambassador for brands clamoring for their shot to fame. As per reports, Kohli's net worth is estimated to be over 1,000 crore, positioning him among India's wealthiest celebrities.
Well, now after 16-17 years of international cricket, I can say that he's an ideal role model.
आप बिलीव नहीं करेंगे कितना बड़ा नाम है विराट का, उसका जो ऑरा है। अभी रणजी ट्रॉफी का मैच हुआ रेलवेज के साथ, तो रेलवे के साथ मैं चेयरमैन था अभी रणजी ट्रॉफी का 23 का, तो मैं थोड़ा लेट हो गया, तो मैंने मैच देखने गया। तो मैं जब अंदर आया मैच देखने, मैंने कहा यार ये मैं कहाँ आ गया। 35,000 people watching in Kotla to have a glimpse of that great man. विराट को देखने आए।
The millennial, who has fans across ages and demographics, attracts Gen Z with his aggression and is seen as a role model as he puts family first and never endorsed consumption of brands his principles go against. He is known to charge a sum to the tune of 5 crore and 10 crore for big endorsements. Kohli's brand portfolio includes Puma, MRF, Myntra, Audi and Blue Tried Foods. A fitness icon and committed vegetarian, Kohli's lifestyle choices have only consolidated his appeal to sports apparels and health-conscious brands and fans alike. With 9,230 test runs, 30 test centuries, countless wins home and away, Kohli's test journey has now come to an end. But what a journey it was, albeit without an idyllic farewell match. Kohli just quietly decided to walk into the sunset, And little did we know, he played a swan song match in front of his home crowd in his Ranji Trophy match for Delhi at the Arun Jaitley Stadium after a gap of 11 years, where his test career well and truly came a full circle.
देखिए थोड़ी सी हैरानगी वाली बात ज़रूर है क्योंकि हम नहीं सोच रहे थे कि वो इतनी जल्दी संन्यास लेगा क्योंकि मैं सोच रहा था कि शायद वो इंग्लैंड की सीरीज़ के बाद सोच सकते हैं विचार सकते हैं क्योंकि उन्हें 2-3 दिन पहले भी कहा है कि मैं संन्यास लेना जा रहा हूँ टेस्ट मैचेस से तो अभी वो काफ़ी फिट है और अच्छी फॉर्म में भी चल रहे थे और ये है कि ये उनका पर्सनल डिसीजन है सो हम कुछ कह नहीं सकते
We are not even looking at that Virat Kohli is going to take retirement from the test cricket. And yes, you can say that he's 800 runs behind, but that doesn't mean about 800. This is about what happened that he took the retirement so quickly, so early. So there is nothing like any indications before. Because the stature of Virat Kohli, he's a too big a player that he can get a well send off. He's not going to be retired like this. So yeah, that will be shocking to me, and I think whole world will be in a shock right now.
A little bit of a surprise and kind of shock, and also a little bit of emptiness because he's been such an important and integral part of Indian cricket scene, world cricket scene, to be fair. It's a sense of loss.
जहाँ तक मेरी अपनी ये सोच रही है मुझे ये लगता था कि सबसे आखिरी जो फॉर्मेट विराट छोड़ेंगे वो टेस्ट क्रिकेट होगा क्योंकि जिस तरह के वो एक खिलाड़ी रहे हैं जितनी उनकी फिटनेस रही है टेस्ट क्रिकेट के लिए अभी भी उनके पास कुछ साल हैं देने के लिए लेकिन ये जैसे मैंने कहा ये निर्णय हमेशा उस खिलाड़ी का रहता है और उन्होंने जो इतने साल इतना सब कुछ क्रिकेट को दिया है तो ये उनको लगता था कि शायद ये सही समय आ चुका है कि अब इससे विदा लेना चाहिए.
The way we consume the game, the way the game is played, उसने पूरा paradigm shift. He actually brought that kind of magnetism to the game, and I think with his attitude he was criticized a lot, but he brought his own presence to this game.
He signs off as a trailblazer who brought fight, flair, fire, and life to the traditional format in the era of T20 cricket's burgeoning success. Renowned for aggression and celebrations that are a theatre of passion that eclipse the bowlers, there is a method behind the madness which includes never-ending discipline. But the soldier in him who refuses to give up and the student who never quits learning are not done. Not yet. He continues to wear the blue with pride, chasing new milestones in ODIs, the format's second to test, where he earned the moniker of Chase Master. The legend of number 18 will live on forever as someone who not only dons the Indian jersey but wears his heart for the nation on his sleeves. Because with Virat, the story never really ends, as the king just finds another format to conquer.